Hey, welcome back to Golden Blue Dude, everybody. If you like the content that I put out, please hit that like and subscribe button. Don't forget to check out our West Virginia channel through Mark Rogers. I'll leave the link to that channel in the description of this video. Well, the only game left to play in college football for the 2021 season is the national championship. So now it's time to look back and see how teams did in comparison to how we expected them to do. It's time to give out final report cards. Let's go. Well, I don't know about you, but the moment that every real college football fan dreads is coming, and that's the last game of the year. I mean, this is the game that we look forward to. It is the national championship, but it does mark the end of college football for this year. So now it's time to look back and see how teams did in comparison to how we thought they would do. Today is going to be all about the Big Ten. So I gave out preseason predictions on all the teams of the Big Ten, and Athlon gave out predictions for all the teams of the Big Ten. First, we'll start with the Big Ten East. Here's how Athlon predicted the standings of the Big Ten East would end. In first place, Ohio State going 13-0. In second place, Penn State going 8-4. In third place, Indiana 8-4. In fourth place, Michigan 7-5. Fifth place, Maryland 6-6. Sixth place, Rutgers 4-8. And dead last, seventh place, Michigan State 4-8. Here's how they actually finished. First place, Michigan 11-1 in the regular season. Second place, Ohio State 10-2 regular season. Third place, Michigan State, surprise team, 10-2 regular season. Fourth place, Penn State 7-5 regular season. Fifth place, Maryland 6-6 in the regular season. Sixth place, Rutgers 5-7 in the regular season. And dead last, seventh place, Indiana 2-10 in the regular season. First, we'll start at the bottom. Dead last, Indiana. My prediction for Indiana was 9-3. They returned a lot of talent, so I thought they was going to get through the season 9-3. I was way off. Indiana had some big time issues. They only scored 17.2 points per game. That was their biggest issue. Offense. That was 123rd in the nation. That's not good. And they allowed 33.2 points per game. That's 109th. So a bad offense and a bad defense turned into a nightmare of a season. Everybody had high expectations for Indiana, and usually they're not very good in football, but we expected them to be good in football this year. Their strength of schedule is ranked number 1, so that does have something to do with it, but still, you can't have that bad of an offense and a defense. So I'm giving Indiana a solid F. They came nowhere close to meeting expectations. Even Athlon had them going 8-4, which was only a 1-win difference from mine. Big letdown, Indiana. Big letdown. Next up, sixth place, Rutgers. My prediction was 4-8. They finished 5-7 in the regular season, 5-8 overall because they filled in a spot in a bowl. They finished exactly where Athlon said they would finish, just one more win. They scored 19.7 points per game. That's 120th. Bad offense, but allowed 25.6 points per game. That's 56. That's not a horrific defense. Not good, though. Their strength of schedule was number 21, so pretty tough schedule. I'm giving Rutgers a C+. I don't think they failed. They were pretty much where I thought they would be. Number 5 is going to be Maryland. I predicted Maryland to go 7-5. They went 6-6 in the regular season, 7-6 overall. Athlon hit it right on the head, 6-6. Maryland scored 29.3 points per game, that's 57th, and allowed 30.7 points per game. That's 98th, so they actually had a bad defense. I'm going to give Maryland a B-. I think they did okay this year, pretty much right where we thought they would be, and they finished the season with a bowl win, which means they finished the season with a winning record, so I'm going to give Maryland a B-. In fourth place was Penn State. My prediction, 10-2. I was way off. They had a lot of experience coming back, and I trusted James Franklin to turn this team around. Well, that didn't quite happen. I mean, they turned around, but not really all that much. Finished 7-5 in the regular season, 7-6 overall, with their bowl loss to Arkansas. Athlon had Penn State going 8-4, so they were closer than I was, but still, a letdown year for Penn State. They averaged 25 points per game, that's 90th in the country, a bad offense, and allowed 17.3 points per game, that's 7th, so a pretty good defense. Their strength of schedule was number 8, so a difficult schedule for Penn State, but still, letdown year. I'm going to give this a C-. It was close to getting a D, but it was kind of a bounce back from 2020. So I gave him a C-. In third place, Michigan State. Wow. They finished the regular season 10-2, and then with their bowl win over Pitt, 11-2. Athlon had them going 4-8. I had them going 5-7, so one win better. But still, nobody saw them having a 10-win season, much less finishing 11-2. They averaged 31.8 points per game, that's 39th, so an okay offense, and allowed 25.3 points per game, that's 54th, so an okay defense. Strength of schedule number number 10, so pretty tough schedule. I'm giving Michigan State an A+. I think they aced this year. Nobody, and I mean nobody, expected this to happen. We all thought if Michigan State got to a bowl, that would have been a good season. They went beyond anybody's expectations. Well done, Michigan State. Finishing in second place in the East is Ohio State. They finished 10-2 in the regular season, and then with their bowl win in the Rose Bowl, 11-2. My prediction for Ohio State, 10-2. So pretty much right where I said they would be. Athlon's prediction for Ohio State, 13-0. That's right, they had Ohio State going undefeated and winning the Big Ten. Ohio State averaged 45.7 points per game. That's number 1. They had the best offense in the nation, but they allowed 22.8 points per game. That's 38th. So it was their defense that kind of let them down this year. Strength of schedule, number 7. So once again, a pretty tough schedule. I'm giving Ohio State a B+. It's not a bad year. It's pretty much where I expected them to be, but Ohio State had expectations of getting to the playoffs and they didn't quite make it. They didn't even win the Big Ten East. And I did have Ohio State winning the Big Ten East. And finally, in first place, Michigan, finishing the regular season 11-1, overall 12-2. Athlon had Michigan going 7-5, so did I. Michigan averaged 35.8 points per game, that's 16th. Pretty good offense, and allowed 17.4 points per game, number 8. Pretty stinking good defense. Strength of schedule, number 4. So a tough schedule too. I'm giving Michigan an A+. I think the Wolverines aced this season. They finally beat Ohio State. They finally won the Big Ten East. They won the Big Ten. They got to the playoffs. Yes, they got blasted by Georgia, but the only team that hasn't gotten blasted by Georgia this year is Alabama. Michigan, well done. This is a great season for you. You aced it. And Jim Harbaugh can breathe because he is definitely 100% safe right now. Now let's go on over to the Big Ten West. Here's how Athlon thought the Big Ten West would finish. Number 1, Wisconsin. Number 2, Iowa. Number 3, Minnesota. Number 4, Northwestern. Number 5, Nebraska. Number 6, Purdue. And number 7, Illinois. Here's how it actually finished. Number 1, Iowa. Number 2, Minnesota. Number 3, Wisconsin. Number 4, Purdue. Number 5, Illinois. Number 6, Nebraska. And number 7, Northwestern. Starting at the bottom. Number 7, Northwestern, dead last. They finished the season 3-9. My prediction for Northwestern was 7-5. So was Athlon's. I thought their defense would at least get them to a bowl. That didn't happen. They averaged 16.6 points per game. That's 125th. That's not really a surprise. They really never have a good offense. But their defense was bad. They allowed 29 points per game. That's 89th. Strength of schedule, 25th. So a decent schedule, but I'm giving Northwestern a D. I had decent expectations for Northwestern. At least get to a bowl. They didn't come anywhere close to that. So I'm giving them a D. Next up, 6th place in the West. Nebraska. They also finished 3-9. My prediction for Nebraska was 6-6. So is Athlon's. Nebraska averaged 27.9 points per game. That's 71st. Not a good offense. And allowed 22.7 points per game. That's 36th. Decent defense. The issue with Nebraska is, even though they went 3-9, all but one of their games was by 1 possession. So that's difficult to judge. And their strength of schedule was number 3. I'm going to give them a D+. They didn't fail, but that's not good enough to get a C. You can do better than that. I think Nebraska does take a step forward in 2022. But for now, sorry, Nebraska fans, D+. Number 5, Illinois. They finished the season 5-7. My prediction for Illinois was 3-9. So is Athlon's. So they actually went above what we thought they would do. Illinois averaged 20.2 points per game. That's 116th. And allowed 21.9 points per game. That's 29th. Pretty good defense. Their strength of schedule was number 15, so a tough schedule. I'm giving Illinois a C. I thought about giving them a B because they did achieve a little bit better than what I thought they would, but they didn't get to a bowl. I can't give a team a B if they didn't get to a bowl. Sorry, I just can't do it. Number 4, Purdue. They finished season 8-4, 9-4 with their bowl win. I had Purdue going 7-5. Athlon had them going 5-7. So they actually pretty much did what I thought they would do. They averaged 29.1 points per game. That's 62nd. Not a great offense, but allowed 25.4 points per game. That's 34th. Decent defense. By the way, Big Ten West, home of the defense. One of the only conferences that specializes in defense. Every single one of these teams better on defense than they were on offense. Purdue's strength of schedule was number 5. I'm going to give Purdue a B+. I was close to giving them an A. They only did slightly better than what I predicted. They had some pretty good wins, but I'm going to give them a B+. I think that fits Purdue for this year. Number 3, Wisconsin. They finished 8-4 in the regular season, 9-4 with their bowl win. I had Wisconsin going 11-1. I had high expectations for them. Athlon had them going 9-4, so maybe they were more realistic than me, because that's pretty much what they did. Wisconsin averaged 25.4 points per game. That's 85th, but allowed 16.2 points per game. That's number 4. I'm giving Wisconsin a B-. Still a good year, but I had higher expectations for Wisconsin. But maybe they were unrealistic because Athlon pretty much hit the nail on the head with them. Finishing second in the West, Minnesota. They finished the regular season 8-4, 9-4 with their bowl win over West Virginia. I had Minnesota Minnesota going 6-6. Athlon had Minnesota going 7-5, so they did exceed our expectations. They averaged 25.5 points per game. That's 83rd, but allowed 17.3 points per game. That's number 6. That's pretty good defense right there. Strength of schedule 36, so one of the easier schedules in the Big Ten. And that's why I gave them an A-, not an A. I factored in their strength of schedule. Not as tough as some of these other teams, or pretty much any of these other teams. And finally, Iowa. They finished season 10-2, 10-4 after the Big Ten Championship and their bowl loss. I had Iowa going 9-3. Athlon had them going 8-4, so I pretty much hit the nail on the head with them. They averaged 23.4 points per game. That's 99th. Terrible offense. Once again, a pretty good defense. They allowed 19.2 points per game. That's 14th. Their strength of schedule was number 11, and that's why I'm giving Iowa an A-. They overachieved just a little bit. They had a really tough schedule, so I think that's good enough for an A-. Y'all let me know what you think of my grades of the Big Ten in the comments section below. That's all I got for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on my next show.